Hello, my name is Reagan Box, and welcome to Reagan's World. Today is January 30th, 2023, and today we're going to talk about the cost of illegal immigration on our economy. The current inflation rate is said to be 6.5%, but I believe it to be much higher than that. Because of COVID, we're still having supply chain disruptions. Over 100,000 people have been laid off between Google, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon. And then we have all the issues that are arising from our border crosses. To be honest, things are looking bleak for Americans. The former CEO of Walmart is blaming part of our inflation problems on the estimated 10 million illegal aliens that have crossed our border since Biden has been in office. The former Walmart CEO, Bill Simon, says, "We need workers we can employ that are in the country legally. What's happening now is you're letting people in that can't participate in the workforce but do increase the demand. So you have increased demand driving prices up without the workforce to be able to service it. So it's a complicated factor. Certain inputs are trying to solve inflation, but you have counteracting forces that kind of mess that up." He goes on to say, consumers could be in a world of hurt if the Biden administration does not take action on the country's inflation issue soon. The illegal aliens not only hurt our system by creating a higher demand for items, which in turn increases the price, aka inflation. Not only that, but since they are here illegally, they don't have jobs that pay into the system through federal and state taxes. The only taxes that they would pay would be sales tax. This means that the hardworking American people are already burdened with more taxes to keep these people up because they are here illegally, which means they can't get a good job and means that they make less than minimum wage and get on government programs and ultimately cost the taxpayer more in taxes from government programs. In 2017, it's estimated by the FAIR study that $100 billion of taxpayer money each year goes to illegals. This does not even account for the increased illegal immigrant numbers that we are seeing under the Biden administration, which I can only assume is costing the American people $200 billion a year now. If an illegal immigrant has a child here, then they are entitled to government housing, medical care, infant delivery costs, and food stamp benefits. All illegals are entitled to emergency medical care. According to the Center of Immigration Studies, at least 50% of Central American families use at least one welfare program. All of this comes to the burden of the American people with more taxes and higher inflation. Americans are already working nearly half a year to pay their taxes, and it's not fair to ask them to add a greater burden onto their shoulders for people that have already shown our country, its laws, and its people disrespect by entering the country illegally. The American people deserve better. Remember to be the change that you want to see.
You and I have lived too long with this miracle to properly be appreciative. Freedom is a fragile thing, and it's never more than one generation away from extinction. It is not ours by way of inheritance. It must be fought for and defended constantly by each generation, for it comes only once to a people. And those in world history who have known freedom and then lost it have never known it again. Knowing this, it's hard to explain those among us who even today would question the people's capacity for self-government. I've often wondered if they will answer, those who subscribe to that philosophy, if no one among us is capable of governing himself, then who among us has the capacity to govern someone else? Using the temporary authority granted by the people in increasing number lately at all levels of government, have sought control even of the means of production, as if they could do this without eventually controlling those who produce. And always they explain this as necessary to the people's welfare. The deterioration of every government begins with the decay of the principle upon which it was founded. This was written in 1748, and it's as true today as it was then. Government is the people's business, and every man, woman, and child becomes a shareholder with the first penny of tax paid.